Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on The Supernatural Show. Today I'm going to continue my reading and discernment of the book of Enoch. And we're going to start our reading at chapter 5, Book of the Words of Righteousness. But before we do that, I want to go back. And I want to point out some things. We'll come back to that. I want to point out some things from a discernment standpoint. It's on up here where we got to get back to. Yeah, okay. All right, this was chapter 3, Fallen Angels, right? About the angels coming down and lusting after the women, okay? And they chose them wives, okay, from among the children of men and begot children. And of course, most of you know that the children that we're talking about is the Nephilim, the giants. And this plays into the Bible in a number of places. The first place that comes to mind is with Esau, where he had a brother that was not a twin and that was from another nation, meaning another bloodline. He would be the two heads. The two brothers would be two heads of two nations. And so let's read this right here. So they all went out and they said, we're going to commit this terrible sin. And Simjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, meaning go out, choose wives, and, things that happen after that, the corruption of the earth. And I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing, meaning to move forward all together as one and agree to do bad things. Now, where does this ring in your head in today's time? You ever heard something called where we one go, we all go? Even if you're going into perdition, even if you're going into sin, or even if you're going into the pit. But you're following a leader. It says Simjaza was their leader. Who is the leader today? For most people, not even just in America, but in a lot of countries, but definitely in America, who is the leader? And of course, we know it's what I call Thump. Okay, and you know who I'm talking about. And what he say? He said he was the chosen one. And what did he bring out? He brought out Operation Warp Speed in order to install software, which is the truth, and even hardware, into the bodies of all of the ones that followed his advice and went out and got the Operation Warp Speed snake bite, right? And what did he also say? He said, you knew I was a snake before you took me in. And if you can't see past him kind of blowing it off and saying the border, he's talking about himself. Hopefully you get it. So you have Thump, their leader, getting them to agree that wherever we one go, we all go, right? 5 says, then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecation upon it. And they were all 200 who descended. 200 is going to be a number to remember, just like I said last time, who descended in the days of Jared on the Mount Hermon. Okay, let's look up. I'm interested in knowing for Mount Hermon. I want to go back and look at the Hebrew definition if we can. Hermon. So let's go and let's turn this to, let's see here. Let me look. If we look at some of the verses that the word Hermon comes up in, talking about Mount Hermon. If we look at this one here, it says, and the children of the half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. They increased from Bashan unto Baal-Hermon, and Sinar, and unto Mount Hermon. Okay. The children of the half tribe, that means they're half one kind of blood and half something else. Okay. And I suspect, of course, that they were referring to, this is biblical verses here, that they're referring to the ones that we're referring to where the angels came down and mated with women or got them pregnant somehow. Okay. They entreated with them, you might say. Okay. And I'm looking at all the different things here, but let's just pull this one up and we'll take a look at the Strong's definition. Okay, here we are, and we have Mount Hermon. Let's see if we can't switch this and get the definition here with it. Okay. Here we go, right here. Okay. It says abrupt Hermon, a mount of Palestine. Hermon. There's something to do with that word that we want to know more about. Hang on here. Probably the most interesting thing when I'm looking at Hermon is said prominent summit of a mountain. Properly, it seems the nose of a mountain. And the nose of a mountain, for me, knowing about that our head is the Holy of Holies, and that the nose is where the breath comes in, and at the top of the nose is where the ethmoid bone sits, and the ethmoid bone, like the ethics bone, is where the crista galli is at. And the crista galli, along with the entire ethmoid bone, looks pretty much exactly like the ark, like Noah's ark. And it also looks like a cross with a veil hanging on it. And so I think it has something to do with the nose and the Holy of Holies being right above that. And the word, the ethics, like the ethmoid bone, the ethics, and that they chose this location because of what they were going to do. And its location, it's on the 33rd parallel as well. I think it's on the 33rd and the 33rd, both north and south, you might say. So I think it has to do with ethics and the fact that they chose to do what they were going to do. So with that said, let's go back over here and let's keep going. See, they swore and bound themselves by mutual implications. This was an ethical decision for them. They knew it was a great sin, but they did it anyways. And they joined together. Where one goes, they all go. And where are they headed? I think you should know. These are all the names too, as well, of the leaders, you might say. And I find these names all very interesting. I'm going to try to take the time to go through and analyze every name, because every name holds a secret. It basically holds the secret of their attributes, the things that they're responsible for, or that they were responsible for in their sins, I think. Could be wrong, but we'll find out. So let's go on down here. There were a couple other spots before I continue reading. And this is 12. This is chapter 4, Intercession of Angels, and 12. It says, and to Gabriel said the Lord, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, meaning the Nephilim of the giants, and destroy the children of the watchers from amongst men. Send them one against another, one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For length of days shall they not have. So send them one against the other, so that they may destroy each other. Okay, what is this? That is the red horse of the 4 horses of the apocalypse. Here is Revelations 6:3. I've spent a lot of time in the past talking about Revelations 6:2, basically, the white horse. And I've disclosed exactly what that is, that the white horse is the medical industry and the scientific industry wearing their white coats. And they started Operation Warp Speed, and they went out all around the world to conquer and to conquer. That means to take over. Okay. So, did they accomplish that? Yes, they did. Now, all of those same people, okay, are tied into the next one here. It says, and we had opened the second seal. See, because they listened to Thump, okay, and they went and got their snake bite, knowing he was a snake, but they did it anyways. Where they one went, they all went, didn't they? They listened. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat on thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. They should kill one another. What did we just read in this? Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. You see that right there? It's happening again, but in a different way, a different image, a different, you get it? Okay. They're going to send all these people that they've got control of, okay? They've got them under control on the left, because they listen to Biden and they listen to Obama. And they've got them under control on the right, because they listen to Thump. And they're going to crash them together in the coming days and cause them to kill one another. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. And there went out another horse that was red, the color of blood. And power was given to him that sat on thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. The sword that was given is the snake bite, meaning it's something of great devastation and that will cause death. And it will cause they should kill one another. This is exactly what we are seeing, and it's exactly what's happening. And when, this is 13, and when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, you see, what did they do in the book of Enoch? God made them slay their own brothers, and their own sisters, their own kind, one giant against another giant, killing each other and consuming everything. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth till the day of their judgment. Yep, exactly. And whoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of the generations. Now, where are we? Ask yourself, are we at the end of the generations? Are we in the end times? If you had to say yes or no, what would you say? Okay. If you answered, yeah, we're in the end times, we're at the end of generations, so then they would be bound together with them to the end of the generations. So they'll be held in the valleys of the earth. What's normally in a valley? A lot of times it's water, it's a river, in the valleys. Like, what's the river in the Middle East that says that these ones are bound under the river? It's slipping my mind right in a second, but I know you know what I'm talking about. Euphrates. So this is referring to the same story again, isn't it? Yes, it is. And what does the Bible say? It says they'll be bound there until basically the day of their judgment, when the day of their judgment is nigh, okay? And then they'll be released for a short period, right? And then their judgment comes, but their judgment is going to come the same time that the judgment of these ones that are following Trump and Biden and Obama and the Bushes and all these leaders around the world, Netanyahu and all of them. They're all part of this, and you know it. You should know it. But this is what's going on. This is playing out again. Let's see here if I've got any other highlighted right here. Yeah. Okay. It says this was when Enoch had went to the fallen angels and told them that God was not pleased at all. And they said, can you write us write us up something pleading with God, to not penalize them like they knew he would. And he went out and he fell asleep and he had some visions, and he came back and he says, and when I awakened, I came unto them, meaning the fallen angels, and they were all sitting gathered together, weeping in Abel's jail, which is between Lebanon and censored, I think is how you pronounce it, with their faces covered. Judgment mask, death mask. So now tell me that this is not the same story. You remember all the videos when Thump was in his rallies and all the people there had all their masks on, and same thing for Biden. They're all following this thing. And the judgment is going to sit. I think this video and this information is important enough that I'm going to let this be a standalone video, and then I'm going to move on into chapter 5, the book of words of righteousness. Sorry about that, but this is just really important for people to be able to see that even in the book of Enoch, that the story of what's going on right now, the end of days story, is being played out even in the book of Enoch. And it's right there for all of us to see. I think I've proven it pretty well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And also, if you appreciate this work, every once in a while, consider making a donation to the channel. All the links are below. I love you guys, and I'll be doing my normal Monday live stream coming this Monday, and for the moment, I think that's mainly it. I'm working on my Mason Plantation script. You're going to be seeing here very soon. If you're a member of the website, the script is on the website. And yeah, so anyways, I'll be back with y'all guys real soon. I love you. Our Father in heaven loves you. See you and talk to you soon.